Let's take a look at this. This is kind of interesting. Um, Wondering what Elijah Moore as a wide receiver 3 looks like this season. Last year, he had 104 targets, but now you also have Jerry Jeudy at wide receiver 2. You've got Njoku, who he ascended. He kind of separated and showed what he can do last year. Bigger role for Cedric Tillman, an explosive rookie, and Jamari Thrash. Um, the other thing is you're going to have, well, hopefully you have continuity at quarterback. That everything was disjointed because you had so many different quarterbacks last year. But to the point, what do you think Elijah Moore looks like as a wide receiver 3?
Well, there's a lot of leaps there. Jerry Jeudy is expected to be a big part of this offense, but really haven't even seen him do anything yet. He's been on the side. They won't say what if there's anything wrong with him other than he'll be out there really soon, kind of like Myles Garrett. He was kind of nagged in the last mini camp with, I think, a leg injury. So that's probably something to do with it. But, they expect him. They signed him to the extension on potential. So let's assume him and Cooper do what they do. Moore's in that driver's seat to be the number 3 guy. The one thing I'll say about him, he's been out there. He was out there all last summer when some of the other receivers weren't. He's been out there every day this summer. Um, when you talk about Cedric Tillman, he's looked pretty good, but we have to see it when they start playing games. In the same way with Thrash, um, they draft him in the 5th round. That's not usually where you get somebody that you're expecting to produce. I'd actually say David Bell, probably is ahead of Thrash, and they want Tillman to at least be the 4 receiver, and maybe he can push for number 3. But I think Moore's still going to have his opportunity. When you have better wide receivers, if Jerry Judy's the threat the Browns think he is, he's going to cause attention, and Njoku's going to get attention, and Cooper's going to get attention. If Elijah Moore is getting the 4th or 5th defensive back covering him, not all these teams have multiple Pro Bowlers. He ought to be able to win some battles. So I think it all goes back to the quarterback. If the quarterback is on the field and playing well, getting the ball to these guys, there's going to be matchups out there that they're all going to be able to take advantage of. So, you know, you mentioned it, having 5 different quarterbacks last year, and you look at some of the ones out there, a rookie who never really played before, and a guy who's a journeyman who really wasn't, that great. You could say that for 2 of them. So it comes down, having Watson out there, for you hope for the most this season. If Winston gets in there, he's looked pretty good. But it comes back to Deshaun Watson, and it's kind of the rising tide lifts all boats. If he's on the field and getting in a rhythm, there's going to be guys open, and they're going to be able to have good numbers.